So what we're going to just do is run through a bit about calories and protein, counting your protein, and then we'll work out your new calorie calculations. So basically, you need to really be updating your calories every 2 to 3 weeks, or every about 2 to 3 kilos, whatever comes sooner. Just because obviously as you lose in body weight, you're then going to be needing to eat a different amount. So essentially the reasons that people are counting calories is if you're wanting to lose fat, build muscle. If you're starting to see a bit of a plateau, which I know you mentioned that you're kind of slowing down and seeing your results,
Yeah.
you need guidance of what you need to be eating and how many calories you need to be consuming. And essentially as well, if you're like completely new to tracking calories, you're quite familiar with it, aren't you? You've done quite a lot of calorie counting over the time, haven't you?
I am. I am, but it's always been like guesswork. Like I've just
Yeah,
Googled how much I should be allowed and gone with it, and it's always
yeah,
been quite low.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I don't know.
And then we ramped them up. Okay, so why are you tracking your calories? So basically, the reason we're doing it is to maximize your results. So whilst you're working out, say 3, 4 times a week, by tracking your calories and staying on top of it, it enables you to balance your energy output with your energy input, just so that you avoid burnout and you can sustain it for a longer period of time. It's also going to give you a clearer picture of what you're consuming, because I know a lot of people will either eat far too little and they'll say they're eating 3 meals a day, but once they start tracking it, they're like, they've had a biscuit for breakfast or a slice of toast for breakfast, they've had a salad for lunch, and before you know it, they're on 600 calories. On the flip side, you have people that are probably more like me that hang out the fridge and like, oh, a couple of berries here, a couple of bits of chocolate there. And like you forget to add on all of those. But so by tracking it all, it gives you a clearer picture of whether you're way too low, way too much, way too above, or on par. It's also going to be like tracking your calories. I don't know if you've noticed, but like you're more fueled for your workouts if you're eating the right amount of calories through the day, and you don't get that fatigue from eating too little. So most people go
Yeah.
wrong when it comes to calorie counting. Most people go wrong because they drastically cut their calories. They cut them far too low. And if you're cutting them too low, you just don't have the energy to sustain your workouts. Your muscles need the food to build and to grow. And without it, your muscles essentially what's going to help you lose fat. So we need to grow the muscles to lose the fat. So that's why we need to be eating a high enough amount of calories. Um, so people cut their calories too low, which means that they lose their muscle mass, and you don't want to lose your muscle mass. You're also constantly fighting this hunger and fatigue. So you're feeling a bit tired, you're feeling a bit drained. The more tired and drained you're feeling, the more likely you are to either cave to the diet and start reaching for sugary food, or get to like the afternoon and have a slump and just feel a little bit crappy and not on par. Also, for a lot of women, if you cut your calories too low, it can really cause disruptions in your hormones as well. So, calories for fat loss, which is a lot of what the people on our program are doing, a lot of them are fat loss or strengthening. So, you want to make sure your calorie input, you want to be in a sustainable calorie deficit. A sustainable calorie deficit is, we'll run through it again in a minute, but it's like about 300 to 500 calories less than your maintenance calories. And so your calories in need to be lower than your calories out, basically burning more calories than what you're putting into your body. To lose weight, you need to be eating less calories than you're putting out. You need to be maintaining your muscle mass, because ultimately it's all well and good losing weight, but you need to be, there's 3 different places you can lose weight from, or your body will take energy when you're working out. And essentially, one of those places is your muscle mass. So if you're not fueling your body in the right way, you can lose muscle mass as well. And also, you need to be making sure you're eating your calories for fat loss, because also you need to be keeping a high protein. And if you're in a sustainable calorie deficit, we need to be keeping the high protein high, not only to maintain the muscle mass, but also to keep you fuller for longer. So if you've got lower calories, you still need to be fueling your body to the maximum amount. So that's where high protein and also high fat comes in really well. Like healthy fats. Um, so it's a bit different. So if you're tracking your calories for building muscle, so you've got fat loss, building muscle, and then you've got like body composition changing. So if you're building muscles, if you have too little muscle, too little food, you won't build the muscle. And so in that case, you need to be in a surplus. So we're in a deficit to lose weight. But if you're building muscle, you want to be eating more. So your energy input needs to be greater than your energy output, essentially. So you need to be eating more so you can build the muscle. You also need more food to have more effective workouts, and then that in turn is going to increase your strength as well. And also, if you're kind of building muscle and you're not eating enough, then you don't like you get that. Do you know what I mean by skinny but soft look? You don't know whether it's muscle or whether it's fat. You don't know kind of what it is, and it's not actually building the shape. So if you're eating the right amount of calories and you're eating the right amount of protein to build the muscle, then you'll build shape as opposed to just like bulk, essentially. And also, calories and protein are going to be what's going to help you recover and give you more energy too. If you're eating like the calories you need for maintenance, and I put like recomposition, so essentially changing fat for muscle in a way. You need to be, and you want to maintain the same weight. Say, for example, you've got somebody that's about 5'6", weighs 60 kilos. Um, they're about, say, about our-ish age. Then they don't necessarily have much fat to lose. They don't want the scales. I think you're getting quite near this point. Like your scales won't drop too much lower because now what we're going to be doing is flipping from just toning and building muscle around it. So you'll still get like a slimmer physique, but you can't go too much lower on the scales, if that makes sense. I'd say probably like 55 kilos is maybe the maximum lowest, but even then it might be too small. Because like for me, I don't think I can go below 58 kilos. Like that was, and I'm 5'6". Um, you also want to be getting for maintenance calorie for to maintain your physique, to maintain your weight and change fat to muscle. You want to be getting more of that stronger, leaner look. So you're going to be eating the same amount of calories for that will maintain your weight, essentially. We'll run through that in a minute. Also, fueling for performance as well. You'll see that this is where progress pictures come in really handy because whilst your weight might not be changing, you can see the transition from your fat to muscle. It's more visual changes and the scale won't fluctuate too much. So protein, we're always focusing on protein, and I know I harp on about it all the time because protein is essentially what's going to help us build muscle and it's going to help us preserve lean muscle. So when we're doing a workout, you might think you're burning calories and those calories are coming off your fat. They're not. So the calories are going to, I've got a little knife in my hand. Calories are coming off three places. So it can be the food that we're eating, it can be your fat stores, or it can be lean muscle mass. We want to prevent we want to prevent our body taking from the lean muscle mass because the more muscle we have, the more calories we burn even at resting. The muscle is going to be what makes us lose fat. So we want our body to be taken from the food that we're eating or our fat sources. So to do that, we need to be ensuring that we are fueling our body in the right way and we're keeping a high amount of protein because the protein is going to preserve that lean muscle mass. And it's also going to help you recover as well. So when you're starting to feel achy, it's going to be repairing those muscles too. Keep you fuller for longer, protein and fiber. If you can have like a high protein meal with a lot of fiber, that's what's going to help you keep you fuller for longer. So even if you're in a calorie deficit, it's going to kind of keep you going for a longer period of time. So how much protein is enough? So for fat loss, you want to be eating about 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. So do you know how much at the moment off the top of your head you're weighing at the minute? I can look now.
Like 64.
So 64. So you want to be eating about 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein. Ideally, you want to be more around the 1.4 to 1.6 grams, but I know that that can be a bit of it's a lot for people to consume. So if we're being realistic, let's say we can go 1.4. Do you want to be eating about 90 grams of protein? How much have you eaten at the minute?
I've been on more than that. I've been on 125.
Fab. Keep it there. Keep it there. It's basically dependent on what some people have really struggled to even get to like the 90-gram
Mm.
mark, but keep where you are then. What you're
It can be hard to hit it every day, but
yeah.
that's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah,
That's
perfect.
me. I can't
Going
get
like,
this. I can't get there yet.
You can't get it either.
I can't get to 90 yet,
You
Ellie.
got, so
I'm trying to change what I eat for breakfast and probably even lunch as well because I was in Marks and Spencer's today reading all trying to get all the high protein
yeah,
stuff. I basically just had to eat like get a salad and then like get an extra thing of chicken on top because
yeah.
otherwise I couldn't. But even then, because I didn't have a particularly high protein breakfast, I haven't come near. Well, I'll be near 90, but I won't quite even reach it today, even like that.
Have you been
But
including protein shakes as well?
no, I think that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
But I
'Cause
can't.
that'll top it up to like 20, maybe 30
I
grams.
think I need. Is there a good protein shake that you don't have to like make at home? Do you have one
Yeah.
that you buy, like a ready-made one? Because
Yeah,
I don't have time to make it in the morning.
yeah, and I think you can pre-make them and then just shake them up the next day as long as you
Maybe I'll do
fridge.
that.
You can definitely like if you put it in a NutriBullet and blend it with some. So it's quite good for breakfast. I know that sorry, there's a magpie out there. I know that Vicky for breakfast has her protein shake and I think she has 30 grams of protein in it. And she adds in like banana, berries, and then some oats or something, and then that just keeps you full for a long time. You can pre-make it, leave it in the fridge. You do need to give it a bit of a shake in the morning, but it's fine and good to go. Um, that's a really good way of getting protein in first thing if you want to get to like I
I
would
think that's a good idea because I feel like I'm playing
yeah.
catch up all day.
Yeah. So you need to get
Because
ahead of it
yeah,
in the morning and then have like high protein snacks ready to go as well. Like those protein yogurt, that protein mousse thing the other day was actually really nice. I don't know the my protein ones.
I've had one of those a
Yeah,
minute ago.
they're good. And I think, did I read correct? I think they've got like 20 grams of protein in too.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the yogurts are like 20, or there's some that are 25, and
yeah,
they're only about 160 calories. So I've been
yeah,
doing that for breakfast because it's
yeah,
not high calorie, but it gets the 20 grams protein in.
yeah, so good. Yeah, and the other, so yeah, they're really good. Cottage cheese. People are really big into cottage cheese at the minute. I've not tried any of these recipes. There's lots of recipes, high protein cottage cheese things going around. Like you can make them into cheesecakes and like sweet things. I will give some a try and let you know because I know cottage cheese isn't for everybody, but it's super high in protein. And it's like another good tick box to do because if we're expecting you to have eggs for breakfast every day, that's like unrealistic, right? The other thing you can do is get Greek yogurt, but make sure when you're buying Greek yogurt, you buy Greek yogurt, not Greek style yogurt, because there's a really big difference in product, and one of them is really high in protein, the other one's not as high and it's high in sugar. Um, and you can also pour your protein powder into that, stir it up, and that's not too bad either, adding berries and things onto it for breakfast too. But definitely get onto protein shakes if you're not already, or if you need to up the protein. Um, so yeah, that's probably where we're looking at the moment. So fat loss between about 1.2 to 1.6 grams. And then for you, Sophie, keeping that high because you're probably edging into that recomposition side of things. So you'll soon be going up to about 1.8 to 2.2 grams. So let's stick where you are at the minute. And then
Okay,
when it comes to calories, so this is a bit of a minefield. I'll read you through it. If you've got a calculator to hand, if not, I have.
I've got my phone, yeah.
Cool. So you want to like school maths?
You're testing me now.
Intense. Yeah. So first of all, you want to find out your basal metabolic rate. This is how we're going to calculate your calories to be in a calorie deficit. You want to find out your basal metabolic rate. So your basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories your body needs to just function. I don't mean like walk around or anything. I mean to like breathe, pump heart around your body, to literally just sit there idle doing nothing. That's how much, this is how many calories your body needs to function. So to do that, get your calculators out. I want you to use the brackets. You can do open bracket, 10 times your weight in kilograms, close bracket, plus open bracket. 6.25 times your height in centimeters. You got that? Yeah. Close bracket. Minus, open bracket, 5 times your age in years. Close bracket, minus 161. Yeah, you got that number? Is it probably be like 1,300-ish?
Hang on a minute. I've done all the brackets. I've just got to now do the whole sum.
Oh.
Plus.
That's so funny. Did you do the brackets before inputting the numbers?
Yep. Okay, yeah, so 1320.
Yeah, cool. Not a bad guess, hey? Yeah, so keep that number. Either write it down or just keep it aside. What you're gonna now do, or you don't actually need that. So now what you need to do to find your total daily energy expenditure. So this is basically your maintenance calories. This is the amount of calories you need to eat to maintain your weight. So like to not put on weight, not lose weight. You need to times it by your activity level. So I would say if you're working out, say 3 times a week, or you're on your feet quite a lot, I'd say you're moderately active. So times it by 1.55. What does that come out with?
2046.
Yeah, cool. So 2046. So that's 2046. That's how many calories you need to be eating to maintain your weight. Yeah. To not lose, not gain. And then from that number, you need to minus 300 to 500 to take you to your sustainable calorie deficit. I think for you, Sophie, we dropped yours really low to start with because your body was quite used to having quite a low amount of calories.
Yeah.
So what were you on before? 1,500? No,
No, 1680.
1,680, cool. So if you want to, if you're feeling up for it and you can do it, you can drop it
Yeah.
to 1,546.
Okay. Yeah, I think I might at least try it, give it a couple of weeks or so at that
Yeah.
and see if that
Because you're,
because the first couple of weeks we were doing it, I dropped a couple of kilos
yeah,
pretty easily. And then
yeah.
it's just like
Yeah,
plateaued. And
it
I'm
will
like,
that will happen quite a lot because the weight loss journey will never necessarily be directly down. You will have times it will go across, might even go up a bit, then down, especially like the weight side of things because
mm,
it can change so dramatically within like a short period of time. Also,
yeah,
can you use smart scales?
yeah,
Yeah, I don't, when it comes to like the body fat and the body fat side of things, I don't know how accurate they are. Like they're accurate for tracking an amount, but how accurate it is to the truth is uh, is not, we don't actually really know. So I speak to a lot of different coaches about this and a lot of fitness professionals, and it's like, I don't think they're always necessarily true readings, so I wouldn't go too much by that. Just go by your measurements around your waist and around your hips, and then like you can go by your scales as well. But
yes,
more,
that's what I was focusing more on as well. But
yeah,
again, the last couple of weeks it's sort of slowed, so
plateau, yeah.
it's a go.
You're getting less and less weight to lose though. That's the thing as well, because
Mm,
you're getting the first bits are easier. I say easier to lose, but there's more of it to lose, and then your body kind of will hold on to it a little bit more.
mm,
But try dropping calories to 1,546 and keeping your what did you say your protein was at 120,
125.
105,
125.
125. Cool. Yeah, keep it at 125. And do that for 2 weeks and see how you go. If you want to go wild and really drop weight, you can go carb free. But I mean, I don't know how much you would like to do that. Um, so essentially, carbs raise your insulin, and once your insulin is raised, it stops you from being able to lose fat. Some people are more sensitive to insulin. So if they eat carbs, their insulin is going to spike higher. And the higher your insulin is, the longer it's up, it becomes like you get more inflammation. And more inflammation, the higher your insulin, the harder it is to lose fat. So by cutting out carbs or intermittent fasting, it keeps your insulin levels low, and that opens the door to your fat loss for a longer period of time. So you're more likely to burn fat at a higher rate, essentially. But carb free or going low carb is quite challenging because you think about it, there's actually carbs in everything because it's like fruit, sugar, so much stuff. It's
Yeah.
doable, definitely doable. I try and do it for breakfast and lunch where I can, but I don't get too hooked up on it.
Okay.
But even if you're just making more mindful choices, so like having some meals that don't have carbs. So it's quite easy in the winter, in the summer, from having like a barbecue, like having meat and salad.
Yeah.
Like from that perspective, it's very doable. Um, but you know, it's one of those things like how much do you want to have to juggle with everything to make it work? Because the more stuff you're juggling, the harder it is to stay on track.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
that being said, I know that you're very good at dieting. I know you're very good at sticking to, like, you're like a dog with a bone. Like, if you're told to do this, you can stick to it and do it, right?
I'll try.
Yeah, give it a
Some
go.
other time limit, especially.
Yeah, Rupi, do you have your calories? I don't know if you're still there. I don't know. Are you at
Yeah,
work?
I've got them.
Yeah. Do you need
No,
any
no,
help with
I'm
them
on
to
my
figure it
way
out?
home from work.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
You
why
need,
I'm like a bit in and out.
oh,
I'm
that's
still
cool.
traveling.
Do you need any help with them, or have you got it all figured out?
No, I think I've got it figured out.
Fab.
I've gone moderate, but I
Yeah,
don't know
cool.
if I'm yet moderate. I mean, I'm doing the workouts, so maybe I am now.
You're on your feet a
Um,
lot at work.
yeah, and I am walking a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
So then that takes me to 300,
yeah,
2300, and then obviously I need to take the 300 off or 500 off
yeah.
to get to my deficit. So that makes sense. That's probably actually a bit more than what I try and eat when I'm on a diet, but obviously I never stay on a diet for very long.
Yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's one
So
of those things.
if you aim then, if you think you can sustainably eat, this is what I was saying to Sophie, because I know that she can sustainably eat a lower amount of calories. If you're comfortable and happy to do that, stick with the lower, so like
Yeah,
minus 500 as opposed to the minus 300.
sure.
So go to like about, was it, do you say?
Yeah, so it's two, three. So I could go to 1800.
Yeah, if you think that's sustainable for you to do, and you mentioned this morning that skipping breakfast, you can skip breakfast. And if you want to like reduce your calories a little bit there, but what I just want you to make sure you're doing is still getting all of those 1800 calories and also hitting your protein goal. Um,
So I will try, but I think that's where I don't know. I think I just need to eat more meat. I need
yeah,
to.
yeah.
I
It
think,
is really hard. And also because you're new to it, it's like you're still kind of getting your head around, like 90% of people don't eat enough protein, right?
yeah,
So you're still getting your head around increasing your protein, and then it's actually just a massive amount of protein that you need to eat,
it
right?
just feels like so much when you're a
Yeah,
rubbish person at eating protein
yeah,
already, which I obviously baseline was
yeah,
like err on the side of preferring veggie, and
yeah,
now I'm like trying desperately to increase it.
yeah.
But
I'm
I'll
the
get
same.
there. I'm just it's about making different choices as well, isn't it? Like
Yeah. So I
it's
think
not it's
if
not
you,
impossible.
yeah, definitely not. If you eat, so I prefer 100% would prefer to eat like vegetarian food, or I'll eat fish, but I can't eat fish every day because it makes me feel a bit um you know those gourmet merchant sachets,
Oh yeah, I know.
they're probably like 9 or 10 grams of protein, I think, in half a bag, or it might be a whole bag. So they're a
Mm.
really good addition to like a lunch or a dinner to add into your meal, because it's just like, so you're kind of tackling the protein at all angles as well. So if you have them with a salad on days that you don't necessarily want to eat too much protein and then have some eggs or something on top. Like that's quite a good way of doing it. Then tofu, I'm not great cooking tofu. I don't know
No.
any people that are great, but
The thing is, I do eat meat, so I will just
yeah,
eat chicken. It will be
yeah,
fine. I just need to eat more of it.
yeah, yeah. Just need to top it up a little bit more. Fine.
Um,
Cool. So, on if you're tracking your calories, I would recommend tracking them on MyFitnessPal. You know you can there because that links with Everfit. I know you've done it already, Sophie. Have you linked yours, Rupi?
Not yet, but I
Right,
will.
cool. So now you've got your macros, we can your calories and your protein. We
I'll
can
link it in now.
yeah, and then that will give you your macro breakdown. Don't worry about the carbohydrate and the fat. I'm not fussed about that as long as you're eating
Hmm.
calories and your protein. Um,
Okay, fine.
and then that's absolutely fine. And then that will enable us to see to track where you're at food wise. Like if you're
Yeah,
going over, if you're going under, where you're using
yeah,
total calories. So what I would always say as well is track as you go because you're more likely to miss food off if you forget and then it doesn't give us a clear reading. We want to keep this as like the readings as clear as possible. Keeping your meals simple if you're struggling to track your calories. So whether that be in like salads and meats, that's much easier than trying to go all out and do something unique, like some form of unique meal that you're going to struggle to add it all into MyFitnessPal because it gets a bit faffy. You can also make meals on there and save them too. So if it's like you have your go-tos, if you calculate it all once, and then you can just drag and drop that each day that you eat it. Um, a lot of people prefer to meal prep. Like I don't, because to be honest with you, I don't like cooking, and there's not much I couldn't think of much worse than sitting there on a Friday on a Sunday afternoon, planning all my meals and preparing them all. But a lot of people do. A lot of people do that. That's a really good way to get controlled portion sizes. And it's like really time efficient, especially if you're going to work and you know that you're hitting your protein at each meals. But it does take organization and it's not for everyone, for sure. If you're going out and if you're drinking, you can calorie bank. So what I mean by calorie bank is reduce your calories earlier on in the week, and then that gives you a bit more flexibility. So looking at your calories as a weekly goal as opposed
hmm
to a daily goal, that can massively help as well. So pulling back some calories so you can spare it on the weekend or on a night out, whatever. And also, if you're trying to track your calories while you are out, so like having a meal out, overcompensate for what you think is in it because there'll always be more calories than you think because they'll add in additional butters, oils, or whatever. So you can still do it. MyFitnessPal, to be honest, has quite a lot of meals. If you can't find it, depends how much of like how intense you want to be on it. You can normally go onto a website of a restaurant if it's not already on the menu and add it in that way. Because they'll have the calories online. Otherwise, just hazard a guess, overestimate and chuck a bit more on, and that's probably about there or thereabouts. It's more so just so you're being mindful and keeping up with a routine when it comes to tracking calories when you're out as well. Cool. So is that all clear? Everyone got their numbers that they're now working towards? Yeah. Fab. Have you got any other
Yeah.
questions or anything on any of it?
No, that's really helpful.
Cool.
No, I'm good, thank you. I'll see how this goes for a couple of weeks and report back.
Yeah, good. Good, good, good. Okay, cool then. I'll let you guys go so you can crack on with your evenings. And I will speak to you all soon.
Thank you.
See
Thank you,
you.
Jen.
See you
See you.
later.
Bye.
Bye, thanks.